Hello everybody, welcome to CoKo Plays Wingspan with coffee. I got a good number of birds with the last round bonus. That's pretty good. Now we do have a conflicting bonus for our bonus, but because there aren't any other rounds with a nest type bonus, I think this is going to be okay. We might be able to go for both. So there is also a bowl to start with. I might not sorry about that. I might not actually grab the bowl one. Let's go for one of these that are really good. This would be a good card for me to have, the ash-throated flycatcher, but just not for early game. I'd want to save it until I play all the birds for the last round bonus. We'll see if I can make that happen. Gaining a bunch of grub right up front could work in my favor, but it's a little bit of relying on luck. And the first round bonus is birds in the forest, so it's probably what I should focus on. Yeah, I might grab the ash-throated flycatcher and just keep it for later. It's probably worth it. So I didn't pick up any bullbirds, but my personal bonus cards I think are a lesser priority because I can get more bonus cards if I really care to. But the round bonus will not change, and everybody's going after that same one. So to give up on it means conceding 7 points to somebody else and whatever, 4 points to other people, so on and so forth. Let's take a look at the birds in the... Alright, none of these are really anything I want, so we'll ignore them for now. I want to play both of these in the forest, I think, for the first round bonus. And of course, because it helps me, get more food faster. That will mean that I need to take a turn. If I play this now, I get 2 grub. 2 grub is not the best, but it's not the worst. Let's do it.
Northern flicker. These woodpeckers seek out ground-dwelling insects rather than pecking wood.
Now I need to lay eggs. Alright, still only 2 after the next reroll, so I probably made the right call.
These owls live near humans, but because they're small and nocturnal, they're rarely seen.
Still the exact same birds to pick from here. Well, don't particularly care for this, but I could leverage its ability. So first I need to draw some food. So if I take this and then roll, I don't have to roll, I think, after. Yeah, I can roll. If I take the scrub, if I don't re-roll the bird feeder, I think I'll be able to roll all 5 dice. Let's try it. Never mind. But all those dice are outside bird feeder to do that, right? I didn't re-roll them, and that's messed up. So if I take these 2, there should at least be 3 not in the bird feeder. I don't get it. All right, well, I need the grain, so I'll take that, and then I'm going to roll. Then I'll take another grain, and then I get to roll 1, and I got lucky. So there you go. That screech owl is very intimidating. Alright, let's take advantage of this.
Pied-billed grebe. Pied-billed grebes create a floating platform nest with plant material.
I'm just trying to avoid the egg cost.
White-crowned sparrow. These sparrows like shrubby areas in many habitats, from tundra to desert.
I guess I'll grab a grub. I might use the wild card to get another egg. I think that's worthwhile. I'm going to lay them all on this bird for now. I'm actually going to take that fish because I think I'm going to grab this fish. The star. It'll count both toward my bowl and the last round bonus. So let's take it, and then let's... Hey, we got a bowl bird. And another right ability. Beautiful. Alright, so this is the last round. My phone is in the way. It usually isn't. So did I move my my camera stand? Maybe. Wait, let me look at my stream, make sure it's like pointing in the right direction. Yeah, Yeah, it still looks good. Alright, so I can play both of these birds. I'm going to want to draw birds. So ideally, I can get them both. I have played a bird in all of them, so the lowest... Oh, not this one. So if I move you here... Yeah, I'm going to want to lay eggs anyway. I'm also going to want to get food anyway. But it doesn't really benefit me much. Here... No, let's move it here so that I can play the other one, the song sparrow, into the grasslands without spending an egg, and then move it after I play Clark's Grebe. Why do I get to draw 2 cards? I guess that was one of my birds. Yeah. Another one of these birds? That's nuts. Everything is the nest type I want for either endgame or bonus. Yikes. In which case I'm definitely keeping this one, because at some point it'll pay off. I like all of these birds. I think maybe this one, which is more expensive, and I already have 2 that move around. I don't need 3. 3 would be hard to manage. Of course, this bird has 0 points associated with it, so that's one of the downsides. I didn't even think of the fact that I needed to get another bird in there for the round bonus, but I got lucky and put it there. And 3 birds was what I needed. 2 would have made me tie.
Clark's Grebe. Clark was a 19th century surveyor who collected specimens for the Smithsonian.
Nice. What luck.
Song sparrow. When resources are abundant, song sparrows can rear 4 clutches of eggs.
I'm actually going to keep that grub. I'm not going to use it for eggs. Alright, let's fill up this guy. We'll move the song sparrow here too. Beautiful. Now we can get a bunch of food. Somebody else take food, please. There we go. I want the cherry. I want another grub. And I want rodents. Okay. I need 2 more rodents. And another grub, so I'm going to need to do this again. How do I want to play this, though? Do I want to lay down some of these birds first? I guess the American kestrel I'll lay down. In which case, let's move this one here. Wait, oh, they both go. They can also stay. I keep forgetting that. They can stay. I get frustrated because I knew that, and it would benefit me to keep them there for another round so I could get more food. But let's move them both and get cards. The food that's there right now... Ah, great. Okay, this worked out. I still need more grub, but at least now I can play the barn owl. Wow, and I got a grub anyway. It's not a huge deal then, because even if I had another roll to get food, I wouldn't really know what to get. So, okay, good times. Alright, let's play barn owl here.
Barn owl. Barn owls use their excellent hearing to catch prey in the dark and will cache surplus for later.
Oh. Total birds, and I have 2 turns. I could grab this bull one. Starbirds can be useful. Let's grab all 3. And then we'll move these to the forest habitat to get more food. I don't really like this ability, because I'm going to have a lot of forest birds. But it's a starbird. Okay, so I got 2 of them here. Next thing I got to do is I can play some without oops. I could lay this one down and the forest turn. So let's move these to both. Let's move them both to the forest. So many cards. So many cards. That might be my last time taking cards. Yeah, we don't need this one. I'll have to discard 2. Yeah, we also don't need the bald eagle. Okay, unfortunately I can't see how many rounds are left. Wait, 1 turn is left in the second round. Alright, well, let's play this one to get another bird down for the round bonus.
Forster's tern. These birds nest on the ground, on a raft of floating vegetation, or on muskrat lodges.
Didn't need it, but it's still a star bird. Now, what would be really nice now is if I get that bird feeder ability so I can quickly snag. Not that. Alright, I'll just have to... because I'm going to need to move one into the grasslands after I play everything else. I don't think I'm going to draw cards again. Alright, what's in the bird feeder? There's no mouse, so... Alright, 2 grub, 3, 4. Probably won't play that bird. 5. Don't really need any more. Maybe wait a turn, see if there's anything else.
American robin. Robins have been known to roost in groups of 100,000 or more.
Okay, now we got points from our personal bonus. Same birds there. Okay, let's get food and hope we get rodent. Grubs are definitely the most useful. Reroll. Got a rodent. So nice luck here. But we want to play these other ones. So we want to play this one. So, and we're going to put these birds here. So we either move them and draw cards to waste a turn. Maybe? Is there a tuck thing down there? No, it's all draw abilities. Which I don't really need. Because if I play these two, then I only need one of the floating birds to land here. And I don't think I'm going to need food again either. Unless I want to play this, in which case... yeah, maybe I'll play these. How many turns do I have? 4? That's enough turns to do another food round. How many cherries are here right now? 2? Alright, maybe keep it where it is. And hope I can grab cherries. It's a perfect opportunity to grab cherries, but I really would like to play birds. That's kind of frustrating. I think I have a plan. I might sacrifice either one or both of my floating birds. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not going to get cards again. And I can't keep this here and move that one. Just grab a grub because I think it's the best thing right now. Another rodent would suit me. Alright, so let's move you there. And move. I'm now making my birds more expensive by doing this. It's 3 turns, right? I'll just get cards. That's okay. Oh, but I didn't lay eggs. I need the turn to lay eggs. Ah, I'm a dumbass. Unbelievable.
American kestrel. Kestrels track rodents by their urine.
Actually,
and will cache surplus kills for later.
If I play this bird now, I'll only miss out on the egg on this. That too, though, actually. So maybe I just lay eggs? I'm actually just going to keep this here because I'm going to play forest birds potentially. Oh god, so many things. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Alright, let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of anything that has food requirements I can't satisfy. Alright, I don't know if this is enough. I think I'm just going to keep it here. Oh yeah, the tucking thing. I didn't grab another grub, so I'm just gonna... Whoops. Not grub, rodent. Wow. Darn. I could have easily won that if I had just not been an idiot. Alright, so I want to play my starbirds to get this one too. I got 2 starbirds. But that means I won't get to play this. No, I can. I can play it here. Maybe we get lucky with the bonus.
Bell's Vireo. John Graham Bell taught taxidermy to future U.S.
At least
President
4 eggs.
Theodore Roosevelt.
I wasn't going to optimize for that. But 2 to 3 birds. The other bird I'm going to play is this one. So I'll get 2. Now we play the other starbird. Unless like one of these bull birds is better. Nah. Don't have any for the forest anyway.
Hermit thrush. Hermit thrushes tend to nest on the ground in the western U.S. and in trees in the east. Ash-throated flycatcher. These birds are adapted to dry places. They get all their water from their food.
Nice. Now just lay some eggs. Did I take... No, I didn't take the at least the 4 one. So it doesn't matter where I put these. Okay, good. We should have won the round bonus by a lot. We got our personal bonus, a little bit of the other bonus we picked up. Laid, you know, some eggs. So I'm pretty sure we won by a decent margin. Because we got a few tucking tuck and cash food bonuses too. Yeah, 97. Good score. Should we switch it over to Townscaper? I do need to get more coffee too. Okay, switched over my OBS layout. I'm checking out the stream to make sure. Okay, Townscaper was selected as the capture. All right, I'm gonna get some more coffee and be right back. And I'm back. All right, so last time we did all this stuff, including this weird, bees honeycomb thing, which makes no sense, but is kind of cool looking. I actually don't really like the lighthouse element as a topper for this particular thing. That house on top also isn't necessarily pleasing. I think that looks better than the lighthouse. The lighthouse top looks cool, but probably only when used as like a lighthouse or an observatory. Not observatory, but like one of those buildings that has a roof, like a top floor observation deck. That's the word I was looking for. So these neighborhoods are roughly equivalent size. So I could just like build wherever I felt was right. So, I mean, there's extensions I could do anywhere. In the newest neighborhood I built, there's plenty of options for continuing going in any direction. There's this thing here near the museum, which I'm going to think about later. In this neighborhood, I could make it work to extend it somewhere. And then in the old neighborhood, there's plenty of places that I literally did leave as where I'm going to build next, but just never got around to it because I wanted to do a new neighborhood. So, tons of options. And I still feel that like surrounding the museum should be like one of my first goals, but I really love the way that this museum has that wing that just extends beyond the perimeter of the city. It's very pleasing. Like, it's still somewhat nestled like in the heart of things. There's buildings all around it, but this one wing goes just far enough to be outside, which I find like a unique layout. But if I build all around it, then it'll just be sandwiched amongst the rest of it. But it's kind of inevitable, though, that if I keep building, it'll happen anyway, so I might as well just make it happen now. Likewise, if I really consider this white area as like municipal offices or something next to a town square, then that should probably be more central too, with some of these like residential older style neighborhoods around it. That's kind of a cool concept then, like the center of the city, almost like a Paris or something. You know, at some point somebody came in and redeveloped it into more planned architecture with more space and more uniform buildings. And then surrounding it are all like the layered residential neighborhoods that just kept growing organically. So, you know, you could imagine that the center neighborhood had that at some point, but that it was taken and redeveloped. So that could be a strategy I employ if I build all around it with these types of neighborhoods. Try and give each of these neighborhoods a little bit of their own character too. It did happen a bit. Like I would say the two unique features, this one, I didn't leave any water here. Like it's all covered by surface in this section of it, which differentiates it from this, which like there's water everywhere. And I kind of like the way this turned out. I actually might try and do a residential neighborhood where the buildings are like hodgepodge, but it starts off with a completely filled in layer of ground. Maybe with like one canal going through it or something. It's a neat idea. Maybe I'll do that now. But where? So neighborhood 1, neighborhood 2, neighborhood 3, neighborhood 4 here would really make sense. And neighborhood 5, neighborhood 6, and then neighborhood 7, and then neighborhood 8. I wonder if I should keep them numbered in order of their creation. So not like Paris, but like reflective of a historical artifice. 1, 2, 3. And this will be 4. All right, let's do that. So what if I'd made like a giant blob that was surface? In which case, I don't really need to think about what the path would be, because I'll make paths as I go. I could always remove buildings too if there's like a blocker to walking through. Yeah, all right, so let's say that this whole thing here is like a surface. Let's get the grid out. Yeah, this might work, because it won't be totally rectangular, which is kind of what I want. It'll be an oddly shaped surface. So it doesn't matter like what color you use for the surface. It won't end up any different. Okay. It's a pretty cool shape. I actually kind of want to ruffle it up a little bit here. So this is the first time I've done like a large scale surface to start with. I did it most recently for like this thingy. Cool. All right, looks pretty good. So something I'm also thinking is maybe I should... Yeah. That was too big of a water. There we go. That actually is kind of better. I suppose now that it's an inlet. It only looks weird because there's like another one just like it here. But we can fix that. I could do another row of tiny houses right here. I think that would actually be quite nice. Beautiful. And it still leaves a nice path to get in here. Awesome. Yeah, that's all looking good. So as far as a canal goes, as I was clicking to make the surface, I was thinking that this actually isn't like an area whose size would mandate that water cut through it on any level. Because even if you consider, like, I don't know, transportation or movement of like personal and fishing boats or whatever, this is not huge. I mean, the scale of this is hard to judge, but if you consider these things as like the size of a small, one-story house, like, oh, 2,000 square feet, that's too big. 1,500 square feet, maybe. Then, this shouldn't be too big of a area to maneuver around, but it's in contrast with the fact that it just got so much water everywhere else. Like, you can barely go house to house without water coming through in most of the city. So this blob, without any canals, stands out. But what I could consider is making like water cut through it somewhere, but having like a bridge so that the road, and then there's a choke point for the road. I don't know. I don't know how much it would add. Like, if you were to plan a city and build a canal, you would just build it right here. Of course, this doesn't end up looking like one. Ah, sure it does. What if I built the second one? How about then? No, there it gets filled in. So with this, at least water can flow under, which is something. And then I kind of wanted to connect it to here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Another option to consider is, in order to keep this cool point, the point shape is pleasing, so maybe connect it earlier. Yeah, I like that better, because this point is very pleasing. I don't want anything to get in its way. And if I do something over here, I can pull the path from here or something. Okay. Maybe over here is where I should have a lighthouse. That's something to consider. There might be a star shape somewhere over here if I hunt. There. So you got to look at the adjacencies. That's a pretty good lighthouse location. Probably should make it white. Maybe, wait, no, it's got to be alternating color if it wants the that glass topper for whatever reason. Yeah, this doesn't produce the glass topper. So let's make the top level white. Let's make the bottom kind of darker color, like grounder color. And then like a yellow, like a warning color. And then a white. Yeah, cool. It might not stay there permanently. Who knows? The sound effects in this game are pleasing, but it might be nice to have like an ambient soundtrack. Something like Wingspan, but maybe not as active as a Wingspan. I'll keep that in mind for like a future session. Find something to play in the background. Of course, I might have to deal with YouTube copyright. We'll think about that. I'll come up with something. Alright, so in this neighborhood, since it's all laid out, the actual pathing I'm going to figure out last or dynamically. But one thing I can plan ahead of time is any kind of like centralized public space features. What if I made like a hill in the middle? It's hard to make hills in this game, but not impossible. Almost like a mini one layer here, and then I need to figure out how to make the staircases all around it. Let's try like a smaller one just to test this out. So we would fill this all in. And then we would want this to be like a staircase, like that. So we'd have to alternate, like a castle town. And then just keep doing that. And how many of these could we do before? Could we do 2? No. Wait, that's not 2. That is. Okay, so we can do 2. One looks nice, though. Okay, I like this idea. Have like 2 or 3 layers of this, and then at the very top, like a tower. Yeah, almost like this is a castle town. Perhaps university complex that, you know, looks like a castle. Alright, in which case we need room for these layers. I can create little protrusions like this. I'm going to want some. I don't want all the houses to be in the castle. Alright, so let's try out. Well, first this has to be filled in. Yeah, this castle town idea, I think, is like built into the game. That you'd have an outer wall to your town, and then land inside that gets divided. But that's not what we're going for right here exactly, because I don't want a walled off area with an interior. Oh no, I've been using the wrong color for the interior. Is that going to bother me? I think it's going to bother me. Alright, once that's filled in, we'll work on the towers. Okay. All good. All white. Don't clip that. I don't think I need to worry about light wells here, because I'm not really considering the first layer as like a building, even though from the outside it'll look like one. Which is unfortunate. We'll have to contend with that. We could think of it as like the outer layer has a building, but maybe we just like think of it as the interior is all like cement or brick. Like completely filled in. Yeah, there's no reason to think that's not the case. I do have a thought that maybe like half of this could be left as like an inner courtyard green area. Maybe. I just don't have the room for that. You got to start off with something really big if you want to have a green area. I just realized though that this is how you get a green area. I'm an idiot. I can't believe I didn't like kind of think about that before. Where if you wall off an area, you get green inside. That's how you get like a park. Yeah, I'm dumb. So the only way that I could maybe like get a park inside of which is another like living space is to basically have a walled off area, like a surface, a walled off area, green, and then start the castle. Which would be this. But it would leave such little room. Alright, first things first, let's try. Yeah, this is what we want. We want to create layers. Yeah, we don't need these everywhere. Let's only place them where we want stairs. This is actually a really nice spot. It just looks good. Maybe there, that's pretty good. I didn't really want to create another one here though. Yeah, I think wherever there's a bigger wall, we'll put the double staircase. I think I actually like this more in the middle. And then maybe on the corner have like one of those smaller ones. Oops. Did I pick the right green? I didn't. And then when you come in, there should be one right in the middle. Oh, I'd really love a double one here. Nice. Cool, that's pretty good. Now, will these stay when I like fill in around? Maybe. Maybe I don't need to fill in around though. I need to fill in the interior. So I leave like a gap. And I create another layer here. Yeah, I think that's the idea. Kind of like a castle town. Maybe there should be a single here. I can't really make it happen. Cool. This is the only single. double, 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 5. Yeah, I think for cleanliness, I kind of like it the way it is right now. Okay, well, let's have these buildings that are on the interior be the same color anyway. This is ending up being totally not the idea that I started out with, which was to like build a bunch of housing and let paths develop naturally. Now I'm building, you know, layers, concentric circle kind of things. But that's an idea that I had before and I wanted to do, so I'm good with it. Yeah, I gotta start doing green areas. They look so good. There's absolutely like no green in my city, which bodes poorly. All right, what's the next layer's color? You know what? I actually kind of would like it if the towers are the same color as the layer before. I think that looks better. It also makes some semantic sense. Like these are part of the staircases to go up a level. Okay, so this is a little funky. This one works more cleanly. Hello, how you doing? Cool, I'm doing well. I hope you're able to study. I think I need to fill this in before I build the towers. Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally understand that. But luckily, just, one more day of pushing through, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. There we go. Okay, I don't want this to be exactly like one tile wide everywhere. So let's create a little bit of weirdness with the shapes. That's okay for now. Actually, we can mess with it after we've got all the layers. I wonder how big it'd have to be in order for the interior to be grass. I think after this I'm going to test out some grass stuff, because I'd like to do that for our next neighborhood. I don't have any grass in this city. Or any green whatsoever, except for some little bit of trees and a few little squares. It's a bad sign. Okay, I think we need another layer. And then the centerpiece. Let me hide that. Yeah, purple's nice. Sounds good. That's kind of neat. All right, I wouldn't say this is my favorite of the neighborhoods, but the name of the game is diversity. So this is at least its own unique thing. It does work. If you consider that the outer layers, the outer edge of each layer will provide housing. So let's assume the interior is all filled up, but the outer edge is housing. Then there's still plenty of room here for people to live and maneuver around. I think it works. But I definitely want to experiment with something that is more gardeny than surfacey. This is pretty good near the museum too, because it's a little bit taller, but not ridiculous. And it's layered back from the wing of the museum. Cool. I don't know if, I guess you would call that a neighborhood in and of itself. Alright, I want to experiment with some garden stuff. Maybe over here. I think this bottom layer needs some things. Apologies for the emergency vehicles, but that's just how it goes. Alright, so there's our green space. Okay. That's another kind of look. Now, how do people get in and out of here? That's the question. Yeah, I legitimately don't know, because if I create a gap in the wall... Wait a minute. Yeah, if I create a gap in the wall... Yeah, I guess I'll just have to come in from the outside through a doorway. Okay, that's interesting. I almost feel like the best way to do a green area might be to surround like a whole concentric circle. A whole like circle around the residential areas. Circles are hard to do though in this with this grid. They wouldn't look that clean, which isn't the biggest problem, but if it's such a large circle, it'll look weird. But what I was thinking was a few tiles wide, just like a green ring. The idea being that no matter where you are in the residential areas of the city, you kind of have equidistant access to a green belt for community gardens or, you know, walking your dog. It's a nice idea, but I think the other way to go about it is kind of like this, where I just kind of randomly distribute little green zones throughout. This one's rather big, but considering how little green I had before, I think I needed something. Yeah, I might spend some time in just making a few little green zones around. Smaller than this one. Just something where people go to have some green. And then as I build other neighborhoods, I might keep a little green within each neighborhood too. So I think the reason, like if I, I wonder at one point it decides not to render this as green. I don't know. But I think all of that is an exercise for another time, because I did 2 like neighborhoods basically today. And this is started off as a Wingspan stream. So I think I'm just gonna call it here. And yesterday was a bad day outside, weather-wise. So I, stayed in and played video games. But it's really nice out there today, so I don't want to spend a second day cooped up inside. So I gotta go get ready to do stuff. All right. See you next time. Good luck on your test.